Hello and welcome back to the second at-home episode of the South Florida Access. This is your host, Moni Lebro, and today you will be getting to know the Banterheads Podcast, who they are, what they talk about, and how well they know the 305 Miami culture. We're also going to be talking about education, drive-in movie theaters, and defunding the police. But before we get into it all, give it up for the one and only Hot Minute.
Welcome to the Hot Minute. We're back. I'm Valeria Venturini.
And I'm Moni Lebro. We've all used Microsoft's Internet Explorer at some point in our lives. But as I usually say, all good things must come to an end. So Vale, what is going on with Internet Explorer?
Well, Moni, Microsoft is officially ending support for this browser on August 17, 2021. Microsoft has worked on taking Internet Explorer out for years now. The company is pushing for more modern browsers as Internet Explorer is no longer compatible. And without a doubt, Moni, many consumers will have to adapt to this change. You've heard about Disney's first bisexual lead character. This is what we know.
That's right, Vale. This character belongs to the Disney Channel's animated series titled The Owl House. The series creator, Dana Terrace, tweeted about being bisexual herself and her intention of creating a character that embodies this sexual orientation. She also mentioned her gratitude for Disney leadership's support on this. Moving on, who hasn't scrolled endlessly on their For You page on TikTok? Guilty. Well, now, TikTok may have some competition.
And competition it is, Moni. Instagram recently launched its new Reels feature. Similar to TikTok, the feature allows you to record and edit 15-second videos. This can be done in a series of clips and include audio, effects, and other creative tools. I will definitely be recording mine soon. This is it for today's Hot Minute.
Thanks for tuning in. Up next, we have a story that showcases the struggle of parents and kids. Because right now it's education versus COVID-19.
We are living through the most unusual times. Both parents and students are finding themselves stranded in the middle of virtual education. But a group of female panelists came together to share their struggles and help those overcome their fears and embrace this change. Let's check it out.
My son that has dyslexia, there were many days where we would sit on the couch and he would cry and he would tell me, "Mom, I'm stupid, I can't read, and you know, everybody's doing this and I'm not." And to be able to go through that process over the last several years and now see the outcome, it's not something that happens overnight, and see the outcome that he is reading, that he is doing better.
Many parents like Sonia Ray have gone through the challenges of homeschooling. With the number of students enrolling into virtual school rising due to the pandemic, it is important to remember that through every struggle, there is success.
I started when he was an infant, reading to him and counting and doing all these things. I only purchased toys that were educational toys. I didn't purchase things that make noise, you know. We had a small budget at the time, so I had to be very sensitive about what I purchased for him. And I watched its development very carefully.
Sonia faced a challenge of being a single mother, but this never brought her down. She dedicated her entire life to provide her son with the best education she can offer.
If you dedicate the time and develop the good habits and just put in the work, it'll pay off in the long run.
These women will continue to inspire many others along their journey. They're a constant reminder that everyone is different and a positive mindset is everything. From South Florida Access, this was Andrea Gonzalez. Take it away, Moni.
Have you been to a drive-in movie theater yet? If not, well, here's a closer look at some drive-ins in South Florida. Check it out.
As a result of the pandemic, many industries have had to find new ways of offering their services.
From the Hard Rock Stadium to the Florida City Cinema, drive-ins, the sensation of the late 50s, made their comeback, offering the public a safe way to go to the movies.
It's just something different, like kind of brings back the old feel of like the old drive-ins. And so I would definitely recommend it.
Many of the places offer food and some even have the option to place orders via cell phone.
Have a phone ordering system where they get ordered and order to the vendors and ask them to deliver the food directly to their cars. Some vendors choose to do that, but we do have rotating vendors.
As for safety measures, put in place due to COVID-19, the cars are well spaced and individuals are required to wear masks when they are outside of their vehicle space. Since the football season is about to begin, the Hard Rock has ceased to provide the drive-in service. However, they are still providing their Fountain Plaza outside cinema option.
We were able to create 2 different outdoor theaters at the stadium. One being our drive-up theater, which is closed because we actually have grass back on the field as we get ready for football. But we also have our Fountain Plaza theater that creates a socially distant walk-in experience where you have your own private cabana and you've got these beanbag chairs, and it's a really beautiful, comfortable, safe experience.
For a fun and safe time, find the nearest drive-in. This was Paola Marcano Bolivar for South Florida Access. Gotta go, the movie's about to start.
You've probably heard of the term defund the police, but what does it mean? Well, this is what a former Florida senator told us about it.
Have you heard the term defunding the police? Protests and incidents of police brutality have given this term prominence. But what does defunding the police really mean? Defunding the police doesn't mean eliminating police departments. Rather, it means reallocating resources from police departments to other public agencies.
And it's not just, again, always about the local police. You got to look at our military, but like the militarization of our communities is a challenge. I mean, right now we're spending over $800 billion on military services.
Dwight Bullard, political director of the New Florida Project and former Florida senator, believes defunding the police will be a step into ending police brutality.
A step in the sense that it now forces police departments to hire better officers, to hire officers that are more apt to listen to instruction.
Protest Miami, a movement that started from the death of George Floyd, has been organizing peaceful protests and marches to bring awareness to the issue.
People are still out though. The numbers have died down. So instead of like 1,000, now there's like 60, 100. But there's still people out, which is pretty good, like day after day.
Always remember to educate yourself and those around you. For the South Florida Access, Valeria Venturini. Now to you, Moni.
Up next, the exclusive interview with the Banterheads hosted by our reporter, Yuselis Solis. Let us know if you know as much about Miami as these guys do.
The majority of society has taken a liking to podcasting. With the quarantine, many people are resorting to just listening to podcasts on the daily. Podcasts have turned into a platform in which individuals can express their opinions on current events, pop culture, and just about anything that comes to their mind. Young new podcasters, such as Banterheads, have been showing love to their Miami roots, and they talk about everything, including pop culture, Miami things, and sports. The Banterheads, Lance, Nick, and Beans, demonstrate their love of comedy and pop culture through their commentating.
I think what we wanted to do, we've been wanting to start a podcast for a while, and we just never got to it just because whatever. But with this whole corona and us having a little more time, we just said, we might as well get started now while we have the time. And, like you said, banter. The reason we wanted to start is because we all have these conversations that we think are hilarious. And it's like, oh, if this was recorded, other people could enjoy it as much as we do, and whether it's making predictions of what's going to happen or just, just funny banter for, lack of a better word.
That's the vibe.
That's why I started, honestly.
Banterheads members Nick, Lance, and Beans are very cautious on what they say and how they say it. Their goal is not to offend people, but to entertain and inform.
Honestly, it's just in general, just trying to have a bit of a boundary, and trying not to. I mean, I feel like we tackle the topics going on in the world, stuff like the Epstein stuff is super touchy, but I feel like there's a line you just have to toe where you're, because at the end of the day, this is what's going on in our culture right now. You have to be able to talk about it in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I know we've even had trigger warnings for little things we talk about. So at the end of the day, being politically correct, I mean, obviously we're trying to keep it clean and not using any slurs, obviously, not making the show all about drugs and stuff like that. That's just not the market that we're going for. However, as far as talking about things, I mean, we don't mind. We'll talk about anything really.
With all three members being from Miami, Florida, Banterheads also show their love to the Miami culture, roots, and pop culture.
You guys said that you influenced Miami culture and all of that. Do you guys ever bring in that Spanglish? Do you guys bring in Spanish? Like, I have to ask.
I mean,
there's big time. I mean, we even reference some of this stuff like popular Miami culture. Like, we'll have an episode that we go into like some of the funny skits from Scarface. Like, we'll bring in some of the Miami slang, like guajirito, stuff like that.
Pero like,
that's my thing. That's my thing more than anyone else here.
We then played a round of rapid fire questions where we quiz the Banterheads on their knowledge of podcasting, pop culture, and everything Miami.
What streaming service did Joe Rogan's podcast move to?
Oh,
Spotify.
Which entrepreneur read encyclopedias at 9 years old?
Did you just say that?
I think so.
Close, but not really.
Elon?
Yeah.
Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Which Miami Heat player attended the University of Kentucky? I would get that wrong.
And Bam Adebayo.
That's actually a trick question because it's 2 players.
Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo.
Which filmmaker had a budget of $7,000 creating his first film, and what was the name of that film?
Oh, 7,000?
Can we get a year of a ballpark year?
A hint?
I don't have a year here, and I don't really know the answer, but I'm just gonna give it away.
I was gonna say maybe.
No, say it.
No, it can't be Tarantino because that was like
Reservoir Dogs, maybe. Nah, there's no way that was 7,000.
He's Hispanic.
Oh,
Rodriguez?
Yep.
Yes.
Robert Rodriguez.
Which co-host has anime character Inuyasha? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. On social media platforms.
What?
Oh,
I have it. I have it on like my Instagram, like Twitch one where I just post highlights. But I haven't been using it. I gotta get back to it. But yeah, that would be mine.
The Banterheads are taking the podcasting world by a storm. This is Yusari Solis for the Southport Access.
And that's a wrap. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media. Thanks for tuning in with the South Florida Access. Stay at home, wear a mask, and stay safe.